Hi, YouTube, and hi, world. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sadeja Divine, and you're tuned into Sadeja Divine Daily. I am so excited about today's topic because today we're going to be talking about sobriety and 3 things that help me remain sober and keep my sobriety for 30 days. So let's get into it. So we're going to start off with today's scripture, and today's scripture is one that I'm very, very fond of. It actually helped me through this process of sobriety and just reminding myself why I chose to do this. And it is 1 Peter 5:8. It reads, "Be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour." So that just shows you that, when you're not sober, to me, it's a kingdom of lightness and there's a kingdom of darkness. If it's not pushing me toward the kingdom of light, it's pushing me toward the kingdom of darkness. And Satan dwells in the kingdom of darkness. He uses drugs and other things to push you into things that you would never even think that you would do, to change your behavior, to change your morals, to put you around people and things that are not at all helpful toward you and the journey that you're trying to grow on, and just things that you're trying to get done and accomplished in life in general. So for me specifically, I'm going to be talking about sobriety from alcohol, but this can apply to anything that you want to get rid of, whether it be like laziness, pornography, marijuana, alcohol, substances, people who are terrible for you, who you seem to have this addiction to. It can apply to any of those things. So for me, like I said, I'm speaking about alcohol specifically, and we're going to get into the first thing that helped me keep my sobriety, which was making a list of my rock bottoms. So this to me was actually a little challenging because when bad things happen, I just, try to avoid thinking about them. Or even if you are intoxicated, it's hard to remember everything that you've done, especially because it like voids your memories. It makes it hard for you to remember things, to even have memories in general. So making a list of your rock bottoms to remind you why you are doing this in the first place. Why do you want to be sober? Why do you want to get rid of this habit? It's a reason why you're saying, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I just hate how this makes me feel. I hate what it makes me like do. It's a reason why you secretly want to do it, or why you're openly trying to get rid of this like habit in your life. So make a list of your rock bottoms. Make a list of the reasons why, hey, you're doing this because X, Y, and Z. Because I'm telling you, as the days go on, after you get, 5 days, 7 days, 8 days, you start to think to yourself, do I really need to do this? Why am I doing this? Like, hey, I've been fine for 7 days. I've been fine for 8 days. Do I really need to keep on doing this? When you have that list, I wrote a list in paper and I have a list on my phone as well. Whenever I get those thoughts, I pull up that list and remember, oh yeah, you remember that embarrassing moment? Do you remember what you did that time? Like, do you want to go back to that? Do you remember how you was handling your emotions at that time when you was drunk, or when you was running to alcohol as a way to relieve whatever pain you thought you was going to get out of, and the pain just comes right back? So when you have a list of your rock bottoms, and like I also wrote like a list of embarrassing things I did while intoxicated or while tipsy. Like, there are so many things I was looking like, wow, you really did that. A sober Tadeja would never do that. A sober Tadeja would never even think to do that. So with that list, I'm like, okay, I will go back to it every single time I had a thought of, why am I doing this? Do I really need to do this? Referring to that list was just a reminder of, oh yeah, do you see what you did here? If you fall back into it, then it's just going to get worse from there. It's just going to escalate from here. All those embarrassing things that you have, you're going to have a whole new list, a whole nother list of reasons and embarrassing things. Luckily, I'm taking this journey fairly young. I'm 23 years old now, so I'm cutting that list short at 23 years. But some people are not fortunate enough to say that, and they go decades upon decades using these terrible habits. They have a whole big long list of, wow, I really wasted my potential in this aspect. I lost that job because I wasn't able to get sober. I lost that friendship. I lost, whatever you lost and whatever you surrendered because of your habit. So write a list of your rock bottoms. Write a list to remind yourself why you are doing this, because it's going to be important when you're on day 50, when you're on day 60, when you're a year in, to remind yourself why you even started this in the first place. Because the further you get along, your mind just kind of starts to be like, do you really need to do that? Was you over exaggerating? No, you wasn't over exaggerating, because you wrote it down. You wrote it down on paper. You wrote it down on your phone, and you can refer back to it. So that's my first thing that helped me remain sober. Whenever I had a hard moment or a hard time, I would just refer back to my list and be like, okay, I don't want to do these behaviors again. I don't want to repeat anything that has happened at that moment. So the second thing that has helped me keep my sobriety for 30 days now is changing my environment. This was critical in keeping my sobriety because the places that I was before, I could not continue to be moving forward in my journey. So this can boil down to the simplest things, like if you have a safe space that's at a bar and you go to the bar every time you get off of a shift or every time you want to relax and let loose, you need to change that. You got to change the environment where you feel safe. Maybe instead go to a park, go to the movies. Even if, like, with me, sometimes I'd be like, okay, I need to change my environment. And I remember, like, okay, I love to go to the movies, but I also would like to go to the movies while I was tipsy. So I'm like, okay, I need to be very careful about how I go to the movie. Maybe instead of going to an actual dark theater, I watch a movie from the comfort of my house where I have, like, my own snacks, my own personal fizzy soda to keep my mind occupied. Even with your friends, if your friends are like, hey, let's go out to the club, the lounge, the X, Y, and Z, and you know there's going to be liquor there, because with liquor, it's just so accepted in society. It is everywhere. You can turn on the TV and see it wherever you go. They usually have it. The city where I live in, they promote liquor in everything. Be a paint and sip, and a paint and this, and a liquor, drunk bowling, drunk this. And it's just like, oh my gosh, there is liquor everywhere. So I really had to narrow in on where are my environments, where am I spending most of my time. And that's not to say you should isolate yourself and never go outside. No, just try to mend and find environments and places that, okay, I don't have the compulsive urge to do whatever habit that you're trying to break free from. So change your environments, and even when it comes down to your friends and your family members, let them know that you're going on this journey so that they can be hyper aware what's going on. And if they're not hyper aware and they don't care, maybe you should cut those people off. Instead of saying, oh, let's go to the bar for your friend's birthday, tell your friend, okay, well, I don't feel comfortable going to the bar. I do wish that you have a happy birthday, but instead, can I take you out somewhere else that does not have to do with liquor or alcohol, so that I can celebrate you in the way that I feel comfortable with as well. Even when it comes to working, for me, I am a server. So I'm like, okay, I was thinking about becoming a bartender because, a little bit more money. I was thinking, it seems like less footwork than a server. But then I had to tell myself, is that the type of environment that you want to put yourself into on this sobriety journey? So you have to sacrifice some things to make sure that you have a safe environment, because you don't want to get easily triggered. If you are going to environments where you always used to drink or always used to smoke, or you always smoked with those friends, or whenever you would go to a lounge, you would have lustful desires pop up, avoid those environments, because those environments are not going to lead you to anywhere or anything that's good. So just be very, very careful around the environment you're putting yourself in, especially in your I will say the first year, but we're talking about the first 30 days for me. So especially in the first 30 days, like you could be triggered by the smell of something. You could be triggered by the way that something looks. So be very, very meticulous about where you are putting yourself. And last but not least, the third thing that has helped me remain sober for these last 30 days is keeping myself busy in a healthy way. And let me preface this by saying, I don't mean keep yourself busy by not allowing yourself to rest and feel like rest is like a bad thing, but keep yourself busy as in keep your mind occupied on things outside of what you're trying to avoid. So for me, when I have strong cravings or I'm thinking about it a lot, I try to stop and clean if I'm able to. Because cleaning with me helps me appreciate the things that I have. It plays into my gratitude. I can also do some type of worship as I'm cleaning as well. So I'm like, okay, and when I'm cleaning, I'm not focusing on that urge. I'm focusing on the dirt that I'm removing. And for me, I tell myself, okay, you're cleaning the dirt off of these surfaces and they're becoming new again. And that's what sobriety feels like to me. I'm like scrubbing the dirt away and becoming new again. Because I had to ask myself, at what point in time did you think that you needed a substance to have fun? At what point in time did that change? Because when we're children and we're kids, we don't do that. You're not thinking about where's the next hit gonna come from, where's the next bottle gonna come from. Like, kids are just joyful, they're gleeful, and they're not worrying about that. So I'm like, okay, where did this start? Where did this start, and how am I going to make it end? So I'll occupy my mind with cleaning. If I can't occupy my mind with cleaning, I'll try to remember scriptures. So I'm like, okay, what scriptures do I want to memorize that I can just like repeat to myself over and over again as kind of this act of like, warfare against it. When I have a bad thought pop up, I'm going to repeat that scripture over and over and over again in my head, because not only am I memorizing things, which I do acting as well. So I'm building up on my memorization skills, but I'm also remembering things that are good that will help me move further in life. Like I said, don't not let yourself rest and just be like, okay, I have to be busy 24/7. Don't do that. Rest is good, and that you can always take a moment to, step back and enjoy the time that you do have, the peaceful time that you do have. But keep yourself busy in a sense of when an urge pops up or a thought pops up, okay, let me go exercise. Exercise is one of the things that I love to do. It's one of the things that helps me. It gives you a healthy and the right amount of dopamine in your brain. And like, whenever you get done, I just feel this natural sense of high. Like, wow, the fact that I'm even able to exercise and move my limbs and feel my body, that's a blessing within itself. And then I just did this whole 30-minute workout that I thought I couldn't do before, but I did it and proved myself. Okay, like, you got this. You can do it. You're way stronger than what you think you are. So exercising is one huge thing for me that I really enjoy. And lastly, I kind of picked up, reading more. Ever since I graduated college, I was like, I don't want to look at another book ever again. Which is an exaggeration, but I was just like, I am tired of reading, because I always had to read things that I wasn't really that like interested in, to get that grade, to do that essay, to be in that group project. So I kind of strayed away from reading, but that's something that I'm getting back into, because I'm realizing that it helps me a lot with my patience, and it helps me to keep my mind still, because I am someone who can overthink at times. But when I'm reading, I'm like, okay, not only am I forcing myself to sit down and be still, but I'm absorbing things. I'm expanding my vocabulary. I'm immersing myself into a world that's not my own. If you like to read self-help, you're reading about how you can better yourself. If you like to read about history, you can read about the things that's happened in the past that, a lot of people don't really know, because there's so much to history that, like, where can you even start and where can you even end? So just find things that are healthy, that can keep you busy. Exercise, reading, talking to a friend, a family member, journaling, writing letters to yourself, drawing. Those things can really help to take off the burden of what do I do next? Because I will say, when boredom comes, that's when the cravings come. Okay? Like, if you find yourself bored and you're like, I don't know what to do, why not just do X, Y, and Z? So, distract yourself from boredom. Find things that you like to do that will keep you busy, keep you moving, to just occupy that space in your mind. So with that being said, guys, I really hope that if you are on a sobriety journey, or that if you want to start your sobriety journey, know that you can do it, and that you are way stronger than you could ever think that you are. You can do it. Start today. Start in this moment. Throw that vape away. Throw the cigarette away. Throw the last of your liquor out, and just try. The first step is trying. In the capacity that you can, because there are some things that are very dangerous to withdraw from. So use your discretion. But just know that you can do it. And if I got 30 days, you can get 30 days. And we got it. We literally got it. Start today. There's no excuse. There's no rhyme. There's no reason. You can do it. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another Deja Divine daily video. I hope you have a great and continuous moment, day, life, month, year, season. Continue to prosper. And I will see you guys next time in my next video. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.